Yeah, this is our main copse. When this land came up, we bought 9 acres. But we never needed it all for fruit, so we planted this lot down here with a lot of wild sort of forest trees, chestnut, birch, hazel, sweet chestnut that is, wild cherry, and various other stuff. We're very pleased with the way it's developed. Lots of willow and various other things. Just want to show you something we're planning on doing. Here are some lovely wild cherries here. I planted these for beauty, but also possibly eventually they might grow into wood that could be used for timber. Cherry wood makes very nice veneer, and you see I've sawn the branches off progressively. This is what they call crown lifting, and it means that the bole, and that's 6 foot, that's my head, 7 foot, 8 foot. No, the bole of the tree is reasonably tall, so that these will grow straight, and eventually, hopefully, it's a bumblebee up there. Good, we like bumblebees, and these are obviously blossoming at the moment. It's a group of 6 cherries. I planted these came from Buckingham Nurseries through the post as twigs. I put them in the ground. We did protect them with binding, with tree guards against rabbits and deer, but this is no longer really necessary. Here's another one. I probably need to crown lift this one a little bit. With cherry, as with all stone fruits, if you prune them, they do bleed a bit, and you really want to prune these if you're going to prune them in early summer when the growth is quite strong. And I do use a wind sealant. So I may crown lift this one up to perhaps there. Now this is actually not ideal. We don't really want two branches here because this will create a weakness and it can split at that point. So I may yet decide to take out one or other of these. Ideally that should have been done a couple of years ago. Anyway, I just want to show you our biggest cherries. Here's some oaks I planted with my daughter Emily, but these don't really fit. Quite often when you're planting trees in a coppice like this, you overplant. You plant too many trees early on, and then eventually, as things develop, you'll realise, hey, that doesn't quite fit, and I'm going to take that out. And here's some stone pines we were given. These were brought over as seedlings from Spain, where Julia's youngest sister lives. But they don't really work. I'll show you why. I'll just walk over here and look back. This is our biggest, oldest cherry tree. If you take a look here, and there's two very big cherry trees growing there, partly for beauty, partly because we have to do something with this land. It would be stupid not to grow trees on it, and partly eventually for valuable timber. Those are two cherries about 20 years old. I planted some walnuts here, and they just haven't worked out. They're too close to cherries. I'm going to cut that out. That's wrong. It's a little oak growing up there, which is not in a great place. There's some chestnuts there. I'm going to take those out, and then we will have a block of wild cherry here, which will look very visually beautiful, very attractive, especially with the blossom. Those stone pines, they're not native to here, and they don't really look quite right. I'm going to cut them down, and then behind them we've got a silver birch, and behind that we've got some hazel, and next to it we've got a tall larch. Now, the beauty of the larch and the silver birch contrasted is really very, very great in my opinion. And this stone pine here, these two stone pines, it just doesn't work. Okay, so they've been growing there for 15 years. I'm going to chainsaw them down. And this walnut tree which I planted without giving it a great deal of thought, it doesn't work. The cherries are doing well. I'm going to allow the cherries to dominate, and that means cutting the other trees out. It's not wrong to cut trees down. If you can plan better, make better plans, then you maybe won't need to cut them down. But if you venture nothing, you gain nothing. Here we are. You can see that's a big cherry, a big wild cherry. That's probably already got some valuable timber in it. And I particularly wanted to plant some cherries because around here, going on walks through the walks along public footpaths, I've seen a number of cherries which are extremely large and big, and cherries seem to like it around here. So, yep. So these are grown for beauty and as an investment, because in the future, hopefully this tree will reach perfect maturity. It can be sawn down and taken and the timber used to make beautiful things. This walnut's in the wrong place, it's coming down. This one is too, probably. I want to show you something interesting. This block again is a block of larch here. These were planted for pure beauty, because I think that the colour of the larch in the spring is one of the most beautiful things in nature. That's just my personal opinion. Here's our bluebell wood. We've been wrestling and struggling here with weeds. All of these hazel I planted, and these bluebells we transplanted. Down at this end we've got some trees fallen from that boundary tree. I need to come down here with a chainsaw and saw this up. We have a large amount of elder. This is elder, and yeah, elder gives berries and flowers, and there are some benefit, but you don't want too much of it. We've got some around here, we've got enough, and I've been sort of quite brutally cutting down and removing elder. And here we have a pretty good density of bluebells. And what I've been doing, and you can't really see how much hard work I've put into this over the last couple of years. I've been down here getting rid of elder. This is, we've got a lot of ash as well coming up, of ash seedlings. So we're down here working very carefully. Obviously this is not a situation where you would dare to use any weed killer whatsoever. This is a situation where you're using secateurs, shears, and the scythe, and using the scythe with great care. But this we are developing into a bluebell wood. Obviously we've got other flowers here as well, but you need to remove stuff like this, bramble, nettle. Now these hazel are no problem at all. In fact, you want some deciduous wood. You don't have a bluebell pasture, you have a bluebell wood. These are semi-shade loving plants, and they come out with this wonderful colour at this time of year. There's a lot of these bluebell woods across southern Hampshire. So we're doing a little bit in this acre and a bit of ground down here, which we didn't need for apple growing. We're trying to develop this into a bluebell wood, and I'll show you what I'm going to do next. I mean, there's a huge amount. I'm not sure whether these are ash. I think it's ash. Yeah, that's right. That's elder, and that I think is ash. Now, I would just so love to be able to, give these away. Get loads of ash seedlings out to where they would be of value to people. We've got literally hundreds and hundreds of them coming up here. We have some mature ash trees. In fact, I have some ash that I've grown on from seedlings, from seeds that I collected from the car park at Sainsbury's in Bittern. It's in Bittern, Sainsbury's, so there's a car park. And I took some ash keys and sowed them, and they are now trees about 20 feet tall. If I had a lot of money and a lot of influence, I'd love to get school children doing things like that. I'd like to have a wood planted by school children that they could come back to and bring their children and have a sense of ownership. But sorry for another day. Something I'd do if I won the lottery, but that's not going to happen because I don't play the lottery. I pay enough tax already, and I prefer to exercise choice over which charities I support. Anyway, all down here we've got just a lot of nettles and docks, nothing special. So in this area here I'm going to put some glyphosate with great care. I'm going to apply some glyphosate all down through here, and that'll maybe take 2 to 3 weeks for this all to die off, and then that's an ideal time to transplant bluebells. So what I will do then is dig up a couple of wheelbarrowfuls of bluebells, carefully bring them up here and transplant them into here, as we've been doing this gradually over a period of time, and then they will hopefully naturalise and seed, and their seeds will tend to blow downhill, and will eventually spread the bluebells more and more through here, just by generally favouring the bluebells. Bit of deer droppings. We do get deer down here to some extent. Another ash seedling coming up. Down here, so please ignore this junk. This is older cider vinegar and bottle storage I need to get rid of. It's ugly and pointless. But down here we've got quite dense shade, and as a result not much growing on the ground. So we won't get any bluebells down into this. Well, you know, there's a few there. Anyway, so that's that. So we've got an interesting little environment here, which is all, I'd say it's man-made, man and woman-made. Is true in the sense that we were responsible for planting all of these trees. I would appeal to anybody watching this who has the opportunity to do so: plant trees.